Yo, welcome back everybody. I hope you guys are doing well as always. For today's video, I wanted to break down this Protect type beat that I made. I was inspired by his last album, 500 Days of Summer. My favorite kinds of Protect songs are like the real like virtual kind of anthemic types of beats. So that was the style that I went for when I was making this one. Now I did already make this beat, so this video is just going to be a breakdown, not a live cookup, but I'm planning on doing some more of those live cookups for future videos because I know you guys seem to like those as well. Also, just a little side note, I did get a new microphone, so let me know how these like audio levels are, or like if it sounds good and whatnot. Hopefully this one will be the final one that I get. I've tested a bunch before and I think this one should be the best that I've gotten so far, so let me know in the comments below if it sounds good or what needs to change or whatnot. But yeah, without further ado, this is how to make a 500 Days of Summer type beat for Protect. Alright, so I got the Melody FLP pulled up and you can see it. We're starting at 155 BPM. So this sample has 6 different layers. This first layer we got is from Xenology, and I'm using a preset from A-Shark's Unkwalk Xenology Bank. It's the Unk Mad AF preset. I use this preset almost as sort of like a bass foundation where I have the root notes set up and then these just kind of like extra accent top line notes. For effects on that, I just have an EQ that cuts some of the lows out and then kind of boosts a little bit of these like mid highs. Next, we got another Xenology from the same bank. It's the Creepa Man preset, and this is the pattern that I laid down, more of like some little accent top notes. On that one, we have no effects, just kept it pretty clean. This next sound, I drew in more of like a melodic type of ARP almost, and I used another preset from that Xenology bank, and it's the Space Coupe Keys preset. So that's where a lot of the like melodic tone for the sample comes in, is with that ARP. It just kind of has like a sort of melodic nostalgic feel to it, which I feel like a lot of the beats from that album had. Then we got another Xenology, and I'm using this Edge Boost preset from the Synth Lead category. On that one, I just have an EQ to cut the lows and kind of cut a little bit of those highs out because it was a little harsh. Then the next up, we got the final layer before the bass, and this is another Xenology preset, and this is the Trance Synth from the Synth Poly Key section. And this is just another kind of one of those like melodic repetitive layers. On that one, I have no effects either. And then this last preset, or it's actually a one shot, it's the Cake bass from me and Gateway's Gems multi-kit. So that's it for all of these samples, like as they were. Now you probably notice it doesn't sound like the beat that played at the beginning. I actually went and kind of rearranged all of these stems, and I also reversed them and pitched them around, so a lot happened kind of after the MIDI layers were made. So pretty much all of these are the exact same as they were, but everything is reversed and pitched up 2 semitones. The only thing I did was I chopped this secondary pattern, and after the chop, this is what we had as kind of like a little like accent lead. But other than that, everything else you can see is just reversed. The only thing I did actually was this other lead I kept normal, but then I put some effects on it. I put this shaper box preset. It's basically just kind of like a stutter effect. And then I also have some reverbs and an EQ that just cuts the lows out. So that lead after the effects sounds like this. I personally just think it kind of added a little bit more energy. So yeah, that's really it. The only thing I didn't do is render the bass out, just because I like to move that around in MIDI. Otherwise, when you render it out and move like a bass up and down as a sample, it can kind of get a little weird. Like the frequencies kind of start like messing up. So I usually just keep that in MIDI and match it to whatever I do with the audio files. So then after all that was done, I then added a sound shifter to the master, and that pitched it down 4 semitones from all of this. And then that's what you hear in the final sample. So this is what the sample sounds like. So yeah, that's it for the sample. Now I will take you guys over to the FLP for the drums. So we got a bunch of different patterns here for the drums. I primarily used Aiden Made's Music Made drum kit for this. I think it has a lot of good sounds for these kind of like distorted high energy beats. And speaking of drum kits, I know a lot of you guys have been asking me when I'm going to drop the 2025 stash kit. I'm thinking about dropping it early September. So definitely, if you're not following me on Instagram or not subscribed to the YouTube channel, I will definitely be posting updates the closer that comes to dropping. So yeah, make sure you stay tuned on either one of those platforms. All right, so starting this one off, we are using the Atom snare, and it's just a basic pattern here. Then we added the hi-hat, and this is the arrow hi-hat. Then we got this Coco open hat, and this just hits on the 1 and the 5. Then we got this Butter open hat. This one I kind of got a little bit more creative with the placement of these. Next we got some accent stuff. This is the Jet snare. Then we got the Slap snare. Then we added another open hat. That one's more of like a live sounding one. And then last thing before the 808, we just added this bullet sound effects from one of Cody's kits. Just hits at the beginning. And then the last thing is this 808, and this is the Tony Hawk 808. And I think I added some EQ to it to kind of cut a lot of the highs out, because I kind of just wanted it as like a punchy sub almost. And that's kind of the effect that the EQ gives it. All right, so taking a look at the arrangement, I really have most of the drums playing throughout the entire thing. Actually, all of them are playing throughout the whole thing. The only thing I really did was add a couple little like cuts here and there. And I know you guys have seen me do this in previous videos, but I used this Looperator preset with these settings. And I modulated the like on and off to only turn on at certain like portions of the beat. And it happens right here and right here. You can see where the Looperator's on. Basically what that's doing is if I pull up the Looperator, you can see I have this set to 1. So whenever this thing triggers, it's playing this one pattern over here. So basically it just like restarts the beat. And then I also have a cutoff. So it's gonna like stutter the beginning of the beat and then also cut it off, which just adds a really cool effect. And then I have this like kind of plug effects that hits right after that to kind of add just more impact to it. So here's a little example of that. Just a really cool sort of like little switch thing you can add to add some more impact to sections as well. So that's really it for this beat. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know what other videos you want to see from me in the future. Somebody on my last video suggested that I do a Ken Carson type beat, but more of like his older style rather than like the new aggressive stuff. So I can definitely do that one next. Yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Check out my kits, join the Discord, all that stuff. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.